Hey, what's up, fam? TJ here. Another episode of the Gig Life Vlog. As always, got to start with just quickly, you got any questions or anything you want to hear me talk about in future episodes, please hit us up on the Facebook, hit us up on the YouTube, throw comments, posts, hit me up in messages if that's what you got to do. We'll get to it. Anyway, last week, 4 gigs. Busy week, kind of a bit glad I didn't have to travel too much. Wednesday, I had the Heritage Hotel. Thursday, had the good old Giddy Goat. And on Friday, I went down to Gladstone for the Queen's Hotel, which is lovely. Haven't played there in about 9 months. It was really good to get back down to there again. And then on Saturday, had the early shift up at the Frenchville Sports Club. We've had the Marines here and they've left now, which is, gotta be honest, tiny little bit disappointed about that. Marines are, they're a really good crowd to play for. They're super polite. They tip. Oh man, do they tip? And tipping, it's brilliant. It really helps us out in this industry. And, they know how to be respectful when they're asking for songs or, anything like that. The Marines clap after every song, which seems to be a thing that's kind of dying in Australia, or at least in Queensland anyway. I've spoken to quite a few of the other musicians in this area, a couple of, most of my peers, and they all kind of say that it's something that they're seeing less and less of as well, the whole sort of idea of clapping and applauding after songs. Which, it's a little bit of a disappointment, but, what can you do? Anyway, I got 3 gigs this week coming. Thursday, back for Rib Night at the Cry, and, look, you guys know what sort of size I am, and there's a reason why I'm this big. And the fact is, it's because I love ribs. And the Cry does a fantastic rib special, $25 every Thursday for a full rack of ribs. So you got to get down there. Friday, got a new venue. Never played it before. The Pine Beach Hotel down in Emu Park. I've never actually even played Emu Park at all, even though it's only really just down the road. It's not really much further from Rockhampton than Yeppoon is. And then on Saturday, I'll be teaming up again with my boys at the Rockhampton Rockets and my girls at the Rockhampton Cyclones. Going to be playing after their gigs. It's their last game of the regular season for the QBL this season. And, it's always a pleasure to play for their parties, after the show. And, if you haven't seen them, if you haven't come down to watch a basketball game yet, and you're based in Rockhampton in CQ, you got to do it. It's one of the funnest nights out that you're going to have. It's brilliant entertainment, cheap drinks. The crowd is wild, and just the atmosphere at these things is fantastic. So you've got to come down, check it out, at least once. And if you haven't seen it before, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go see that, then you don't get to complain that there's nothing happening in Rockhampton. Because, gonna be honest, something that kind of pisses me off a lot. There's a lot happening in this town. This town's not a hole, by any means. There's a lot of really cool things happening in this town. It's just people don't go out to them. People go, oh, I'll just get it next time. And it's a bit disappointing, because things are happening. And people try to get stuff off the ground. They try to get events happening. They try to get... And not just in sport. They try to get music shows happening. They try to get plays. They try to get musicals. They try to get dance shows, art galleries, everything. But a lot of people just kind of go, oh, I'll see it. I'll do it some other time. I'm too lazy. I'm not up to it. And then they fail. Anyway, that's that little bit of a rant over. But come on, Rockhampton. If you're in town, I challenge you. In fact, if you're in town, I'm challenging you right now. In the next month, I want you to go and find 2 new things that you've never done before. 2 new events that you've never gone to before, and I want you to go to them. I want you to go check them out. Even if you only go on for an hour. Sure, even if it costs like $10, $15 to get in, whatever. That's not much. That really is not much. So I challenge you, for the next month, I want you to go see 2 new things, and I want you to tell me about them. I want you to go to the Rule 34 page, facebook.com/Rule34official. That's RULE34 official. I want you to go there and tell me about the 2 new things you tried this month. I want to see what you've done, because there's so many cool things to happen in this town. Anyway, quickly, I don't want these things to be taken so long, I don't want them to be like the first one, which was 20 minutes. I don't want that to be happening too frequently. So we're going to go on to the album recommendation of the week. It's one of my favorites. Real Big Fish, Candy Coated Fury. This one came out in 2012. I've got it on vinyl. I've got it on CD. I've got it on MP3. I bought that thing digitally. I've downloaded it on Spotify as well, so I've got it on my other phone. Look, this record is fantastic. And if you never dug ska music before, I'd recommend check this one out. This is actually a really nice little entry point into that sort of genre. And if you're not familiar with ska music, it's basically a blend of reggae, swing music, and punk. That sort of third wave 90s punk sort of thing. This album's got some of my favorite some of my favorite songs on it, I should say. Everybody Else Is an Asshole. That's how it starts off, and it just kicks you in the face. It's a brilliant way to start a record. But it's got a couple of other really cool songs on it. I Dare You to Break My Heart, I Know You Too Well to Like You Anymore, Lost Cause, Famous Last Words. My personal favourite on the record, though, is they do a cover of a song called The Promise, which, if you've seen my shows, I pull it out maybe once every, month or two. They've just done a ska reggae sort of slowed down cool version of a pop song called The Promise by a band called When in Rome. They were a one-hit wonder over in the UK. They never made it here. But it's one of my favourite songs ever since I heard it. Billy Cottage does a great job. This is the first record after he took over from Scott Kloffenstein, as the guy who'd do all the backup harmonies and do all the, when they're live, does all the banter with Aaron Barrett on stage. But anyway, please, I recommend this one. Check this out. And as always, like I said at the beginning of the video, you got questions, you got comments, hit us up. Hit us up on YouTube. Comment on Facebook. All of that sort of thing. I will get to them. The plan is in the next few weeks to do another episode where I sit down with a bunch of questions again and answer them all. And until then, you know what, all the like buttons, all the subscribe buttons, become part of the notification squad. Be part of the foundation. Hit that like, hit that notification button on YouTube, on Facebook as well. And, just remember, every Saturday morning, Facebook exclusive. We got the return of the Saturday morning music again. So that's every weekend on the Facebook. Saturday morning, you can get another new cover from me, recorded somewhere in town. And, I think just quietly we got a little bit of a killer tune this weekend coming. So anyway, as always, I'm TJ. Catch you guys later. Peace out.